Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we've got the Mercedes Expedition truck back on the table. So it's been a while since you've seen this on the channel because mainly I've been waiting for some extra parts to show up, which have finally decided to show up. So you may have seen in the last video I bought myself a Ali fuel tank and a Lesu front bumper for it. No problems at all showing up. But when I decided, you know what, it needs a second fuel tank on the opposite side to sort of balance it out a little bit. I decided to order from the same seller and got sent a empty package. Thankfully got my money back, so I ended up ordering from another seller. Same dimension fuel tank, apparently. Yeah, they're not the same dimensions. So I've got a slightly bigger one for the opposite side. So the other stuff I got myself a nice little set of side steps, which hopefully will go on. I did end up seeing at the RC Truckers National, I think it may have been the next item or if it was this item, but I did end up seeing another set of knees which looked better, which I kind of wish I bought, but trying to save the money. But the next item is a set of Lesu air tanks, which I believe should just bolt onto the side. And the second to final item is a set of front leaf spring mounts, so I can move the rear axle forwards on the chassis but also lift it up slightly, because the weight of this box, doesn't matter what I seem to do with the rear suspension on it, seems to force it into a droop. So as soon as the rear box is on, it just slams it down to the ground. So my plan is I'm going to put these on, which means the rear mounting point I can put lower, which should lift it up a little bit and level it slightly. And the final items is a set of, well, technically it should have been dualies, but I just bought an individual one, and these are going to be the spare tyres, which are going to go on the back of it. So, enough chit chat. Let's try and get this thing done. And that's all that we've got time for today. I'm kind of annoyed with myself. I've lost a baggie of hardware for the second fuel tank. I've looked through my hardware drawers and I don't have any which is a full match and set for it. And secondly, the hardware which came with these absolutely does my tit in, because it is a Torx bit, and I think it's T6. I've only got a T7 or a T5. T7 kind of works. T5 just spins in the hole. But yeah. Secondly, I'm not too happy about, but I'm really confused why it doesn't work, is you can see I've moved the rear axle forward a little bit, which makes it look, I'd say, kind of correct with how a box truck should look, because normally they don't have the axle all the way to the rear, but I think this now looks kind of perfect with the axle placement where it is. But what I'm kind of annoyed by is this rear wheel looks like it rubs on this fender, which doesn't make any sense because, well, you didn't see it on camera, but I measured everything, lined it all up. It is the same on both sides, yet this axle seems, or this wheel seems to rub under compression, yet the other side's absolutely fine. Which then leads me on to this issue is, if you have a look at it, I don't know how well it comes across on camera, but it's not sitting flat, it's sitting a little bit more lowered down to the front, which I kind of like how much lift it has got on the rear. So I may put a spacer on the front axle to bring it kind of level, which then gives me a decent bit of ground clearance as well. Plus, this axle I feel like has been lifted anyways, because under full lock or full suspension compression it catches the arch. So apart from that, I think I'm going to do a little bit off camera. I've got like shorten the drive shaft, but you saw me do that in previous videos. And well, I've 3D modelled the spacers for it. Apart from that, I think I'm done for today, because well, I kind of need to get this edited and out for this Friday. So please stay tuned, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video of the camper build. Goodbye.